Um, they were in every aspect of football better the first half. I would say like last season. So I saw a lot of similarities between last season and this season, with one main difference in that after we struggled last season in the first 25 minutes a lot, we scored a set piece, and that changed the game. They kept on outplaying us for 90 minutes, but it did help us to get some energy to keep defending well. Last season they didn't create that many chances. I think today they created more, but it wasn't that they had chance after chance after chance. But this time they were much more effective with the chances they had. So first goal, I don't think that's a big chance. I think that's also quality. Third goal, it's not a big chance, but it's quality. Second goal, set piece.
After beating Real Madrid on Tuesday, sort of brings you back down to earth a little bit. What's the mood like in the dressing room after?
No, of course, everyone is disappointed. So it was a very good start of the week. Winning Villa, winning Real Madrid. But if you thought you already faced two strong opponents, then Man City comes across you. Away, also at the Etihad, that is for every team difficult, including us. And they were by far the much better side in the first half.
Please. Arne, you mentioned on Friday about refereeing decisions going against your team in recent weeks.
I've never said that.
You did on Friday.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. In my last remark, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
What's your view on the one today?
Yeah, I would like to emphasize on the fact that being 2-0 down at halftime was a fair reflection of how the game went. But I've been on the opposite side, that my team was much better than the other team. We were 1-0 up and then maybe not scoring the second one, and then the other team gets a set piece, it's 1-1, and then all of a sudden things change. So this can happen in football. It's not to say for me that it was a clear and obvious for me that it was a wrong decision that this goal was not allowed. But that doesn't, I will not say that because of that we've lost the game, because after 1-1, if City just kept on playing like they did, then we would have struggled in the second half as well. But I constantly felt if we are managing to keep maybe 1-0 down till halftime, we can maybe adjust a few things, which was definitely necessary because we were constantly coming one or two players short in the midfield because Doku and O'Reilly gave us a lot of problems with the two of them. So yeah, then 1-1 would have been the biggest gift we could get at halftime, and because in my opinion the second half was a different game. But being 2-0 down and later 3-0 down, that maybe doesn't give a good reflection of how things would have went if it would have been 1-1.
It felt like in the first half in particular, in terms of winning duels and things like that, Liverpool came out on the losing side of a lot of those individual battles. How frustrating was that, especially because against Real Madrid it seemed like the team would be much better at winning those duels?
Yeah, that's true. But it's also easy for players to win their duels if the game plan, if the tactics are working, and I think that's what it did against Villa, is what it did against Madrid. But we struggled now a lot with them bringing so much players into the center of the pitch, and it was difficult for some of our players then to make the right decision. So I think it wasn't about my players not wanting to make the duel. They had to run a lot because they were so much better on the ball than us. They were a few times then too late. So I would first and foremost then always look to the game plan and of us and them, and not blame my players at all, because in the second half when we were doing better, I think you could also see that they were able to win much more duels, and then we were more than a few times able to win the ball, which did not result in a goal from us, but yeah, in that period of time, I think in the second half we definitely deserved the goal.
Thank you.
5 league defeats already this season. I don't know if you feel there's a general pattern or whether you think this is a separate one to the others, but over the season as a whole, does that feel far too many? And how do you assess that in terms of the title race?
Yeah, it feels there's too many. And the last thing I should speak about now is the title race. We should first focus on getting result after result after result before we can even think about that. And the reality is that we are 7th now, if I'm correct, 7th or 8th, something like this. One team is quite far ahead, although City is maybe 4 points, I think, away from Arsenal. The rest is quite close, and I've said last season many times, even after when we were leading in the beginning, and the best way to judge the league table is of course after 38, but the next best thing to judge it is after 19 games, because then you all faced the same opponents. And our first focus should be on getting results in, and the last thing we should focus on is on the title race, which is something we could do last season, but also not the previous 2 seasons before. But we need to improve, and that's obvious.